널 마침내 안고서 눈부시게 타올라 We live for this love We live for this love We live for this love The firelight
저는 Ashley입니다. My name is Ashley and I'm from the United States and I'm an artist, I'm an animator, I'm an animation graduate, but I just call myself an artist.
Hi, 안녕하세요. My name is Won. I was born and raised in China, and I moved to Chicago since 2009. And this year I moved from Chicago to San Francisco and began work here.
Hi everyone, my name is Brittany. I'm a 23-year-old Shinhwa Changjo and K-pop fan for at least 12 years now. I want to say that Shinhwa has influenced me the most and has captivated me the most when it comes to my favorite K-pop band.
My name is lkcoley. Most people who are cool with me can just call me KEYA. I'm an independent writer. I'm 24 years old. I'm interested in all types of art. I like anything that's abstract. I'm very open-minded. I'm an African American alternative artist.
Hi, my name is Christine. I'm 26 years old and I went to school for theater. I have a really big passion for the arts and music. I grew up in a musical family, and right now at my church I am head over our drama department, so I wrote and directed our Christmas play, our Easter play, and I just love doing it and everything I do.
안녕하세요, Sophie입니다. I am 23 years old and I'm from Toronto, Canada.
It was either Usha Usha or T.O.P. It was so long ago, they all kind of run together. Like I listened to a lot of different ones in the beginning. I think it was T.O.P.
First Shinhwa song I heard was Usha Usha.
The first song I've ever heard from Shinhwa is T.O.P. Twinkling of Paradise in 1999. At that time I was chosen as an MC for our school radio station, and I followed a lot of music charts, and I bought a lot of cassettes from foreign countries, and which include Shinhwa's second album, T.O.P. After that, I followed with the first album and also the third and fourth album.
The first Shinhwa song I ever heard was T.O.P. and it was the very first K-pop song I ever heard. And I was captivated with it because it was unlike anything I ever heard of. I was sitting there one night and I just saw this, I heard the interlude and it was very classical and I didn't know what to expect, and the background was so serene, and then these guys come out and they're like this futuristic version of NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys, and it was my heart after that. Actually, right after I saw that video, the next day I went to the library because I didn't have internet, and I looked them up. I searched for the song, I searched for days, and I looked up all I could about the group, and that's when my love for them formed.
It was T.O.P. and when I first heard it, it was just like, oh, that's interesting. And then I saw like the trash bag outfit, and I'm like, oh, they're killing the dance. And then the song came on, and it was that beautiful orchestra, and I'm like, that's interesting. Not a lot of people do that. And then they started rapping, and they started singing, and then we just came out. But T.O.P. was the first Shinhwa song I ever heard, and I was so impressed, and I was floored when it had sung that high note.
The first Shinhwa song I ever heard, I believe it was Perfect Man. I was 17, high school. Amazing track. It was love at first listen. So Perfect Man was the first Shinhwa song.
It would have to be from the On the Road album, and it would be Hurt.
I love Crazy, but I think it's because it stars my favorite two members, Don Juan and Jin. The video was really great because it was really dramatic and it told a really great story. But at the same time, the song is kind of semi-sad because it doesn't think it's going to work out between the two people. And you know, as I got older, I actually you know had relationships of my own. I can understand how that happens, where you want it to work out, but it just isn't going to, and it drives you crazy sometimes because you just want to make it work.
My favorite Shinhwa song is Yo. I began to understand this song by learning its Chinese lyrics, and I find it's really encouraged. It encouraged me to pursue my dreams. I received a lot of unexpected experience after I followed the song, so I like it very much, and I think I recommend this song to a lot of young teenagers, and hope this will help them to find their confidence.
Has got to be Time Machine. Out of all the songs I love, Time Machine is one of those that's at the top. I've always loved that song. It's kept me in such a good mood every time I listen to it, and I even imagine the music video in my head for it.
There's so many good songs. It's really hard to pick one. It's hard to pick. I guess T.O.P. because it made the most impression on me when I first heard them, and it launched me into my interest into the group for so many different reasons. I saw so much potential there, and it's always been a favorite, and every time I hear it, I'm like, that's my song. So when the song makes me feel that way, I suppose it's in my favorites.
Oh, there's a lot. But if I had to do a number one, again, it's Perfect Man. Maybe because it was the first song I ever heard that makes it my favorite. And Liar. Liar is a close number one. Liar from the 7th album, Brand New. So, but Perfect Man is number one, my favorite.
I love Crazy because of that. Oh, another really good one. When Eric and Hesong were like the same person. It was so crazy, but I didn't understand what was happening. And at the end, it had a really good twist. So theatrically, I really loved that video. Run was pretty good because it was different, and I never really seen them do something like out of the box culturally. Where they went to Mexico, and they all had different hairstyles, and they all had like the really bright colored shirts, and everyone had guns and everything, like an old western. So that one was really good too.
My favorite music video is Angel because I like the storyline, although it is not so related to the song because the song is so sweet, but I like Eric and Hasan's acting in the song.
It has got to be Crazy because of Dongwon's acting skills. That was the first time I actually saw his acting skills in it, and it blew me away. I was really into the story. Second to that would probably be Only One because of course I can't pick an all-time favorite. That's my favorite at the moment.
Favorite music video? Oh my god, there's so many interesting ones. It's hard to pick. I don't know. I can't pick it.
Again, there's a lot of Shinhwa music videos I love and that are my favorite. I'm trying to stay away from Perfect Man because that's all I'm like favorite. Only One was giving me, they were shirtless in Only One, and I love the anime cool hairstyles. Then there's Wild Eyes. Oh, this is so hard. Wild Eyes was just like everyone looked at their best. Everyone was at their best, looking good, knowing they looked good in Wild Eyes. That music video was just amazing. It's either between Wild Eyes or Only One.
I Pray For You.
For a really long time, I was torn between Jin and Dongwon. And as I think I got a little bit older and found out more about myself, I'm leaning more towards Dongwon. He's very sweet and he's very kind. He's also very talented. I watched him um, in The Person I Love, a drama that he did. A Korean drama. I think it was about 16 or between 16 and 12 episodes long. But he showed a really great depth in that character. And for me to have different levels is really important. Obviously he can sing, he can dance. Like everybody can sing and dance in the group, mostly. But he just has like a presence about him that's just very sweet and he's very kind, and but he's also funny. But he doesn't seem stuck up and he doesn't seem really cocky. And for me, humility is really important. So he's very talented, but he doesn't seem to throw in his face or say, you know what, I'm so awesome. The fact that he knows that, you know, he was given gifts.
It's really hard to choose a bias from Shinhwa members because I think they all have their own characters. But if I have to choose one, I choose Dongwon Oppa because I think he's warm and he's taking care of everybody. So I like him very much.
My bias is Dongwon. It always has been. You know, I flip-flopped and went to Eric for a little bit, but it's always Dongwon. He's so sweet, and that smile and his cheekbones he's just gorgeous.
Well, for the longest time, I was battling between who was my favorite for so many different reasons, because each individual member leaves an impression of their own because they're all so different and they're all so unique in their own way. But I have to say my bias is Hassan, who has the voice of an angel, and just every time he sings, I'm just captivated. And a lot of singers that just leave that impression, they just stay in my heart. He's just always got a place there, and every time I see him, I'm just like, that's him.
My bias is Eric Moon. I think everyone knows that. All my friends know that. I love him. He's hilarious. He's adorable. He is an awesome rapper, I guess. Yes, he improved a lot from the early days. It was just like, I think he was influenced by a lot of American rappers, so he took bits and pieces and he was like, he wasn't his own yet. And then finally he started, and he grew, he became, it's so difficult to explain that. I'm gonna scratch that. I love Eric. He's hilarious. He's a goofball. He's a great leader, and he's awesome. And I think everyone is a leader in their own right, but he's the one that pushes, like, he pushes for Shinhwa to just stay humble, let's be together, let's make good music, let's have fun.
Shinhwa Changjo.
A random funny moment from watching their concerts. I think it was in one of their concerts where they were talking about, you know, who speaks what language, and Minwoo was the best at Japanese, or it might have been on a talk show. I'm not sure where it happened, but they were trying to get him to speak Japanese. And when he finally said something, he said, you know, I wanted to hit somebody. I just thought that was really funny.
I think the funniest moment that I remember is that it was in Haesung's and Dongwon's birthday party, and Haesung moved backwards, and he was like doing spinning kick, and she fell down the stage, and it must be her, but Haesung recovered by kicking Eric to the ground. That's very funny.
Is the banana song, you know, banana moki yo. I remember seeing that on YouTube, and it was just so funny. Like, they were drunk on the ski lift, and if I can recall, that was on set of one of their Winter Story videos, if I can remember correctly. I think that's what it was. And they were just, you could tell they were tired, and they just partied after a long day of filming, and it was hilarious. I even have my boyfriend singing it sometimes.
The first thing that popped into my head was banana mochi-yo. banana mochi yo. So that was a funny moment I recall.
Oh, when Minwoo was trying to bite Dongwon's shoulder, they were on a show together.
A funny moment of Shinhwa would be episode 62 of X-Men. That was one of my favorite episodes of X-Men because Shinhwa was hilarious on it.
I always remember that Minoba comfort Andy on the 10th anniversary concert when Andy is crying. When Andy is talking about they will not be on stage next 4 years, but they come back, and the scene is so sweet that I can always remember.
The Together Forever video. The Together Forever video was one of those where they took clips of all of their, tours and how they react as, brothers behind the scenes and just being caring. And I just thought it was great, and it showed the closeness that they have, and I love it to this day. I watch it sometimes if I'm feeling upset. Same with the thank you video. The thank you video does the same thing. Very sweet.
It's when Andy returned back to the group after missing their 4th album promotions and everything. Andy came back, tears, and there was hugging, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the sweetest thing. Like, this group actually loved each other. So I think that was that's the sweetest moment.
A sweet moment would have to be in one of the On the Road live performances. You can tell Andy Oppa wasn't really feeling well, and there's this one time where Dongwan looks over at Andy and then taps him on the shoulder to ask, like, are you okay? And it's a cute brotherly bond. It's a cute moment of brotherly bond between the two. So I like that moment.
My favorite Shinhwa era. I don't think I can choose just one. I feel like over the years as they grew and changed, so did I, and so I identify with them differently. I remember when they first came out, I really liked like the Only One era, and when it was leaning more towards in the late 90s, early 2000s, more towards like bubblegum pop. I was maybe 16, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. And as I grew and matured, and obviously I did too, they've been out for 15 years. Perfect Man. Perfect Man is actually, I think, one of their best albums. One of my favorite albums. And just that video where it was just like transferred from out of different people. Everyone was transforming into different, walks of life and going through different things, and on the four-wheeler or in a car, or, at the office. And everyone had really good hairstyles because, people get a little creative, and some hairstyles work better than others. But I think this was one time where everybody had a hairstyle that worked equally well for themselves. So I think the Perfect Man era.
My favorite Shinhwa era is right now because I love their hairstyle, and I also love their mature actions on the stage. I love their funny stories after they become friends for 15 years.
Had to be the Brand New Era. It was and is my favorite album of theirs, and they just, you can tell that they just, after all those years, even then, they had this closeness and this strength that just made them the kings of K-pop, in my opinion. Like I that was actually the first album I ever bought of theirs, and I backtracked from that one to the very first one, and I noticed how they just grew up and how they went from, these kids singing Usha Usha, and then they come up with Brand New, and it blows you away. Like almost every song is just flawless. It shows their growth. It's really amazing.
I'd have to say that 2003, when the Wedding album came out. Wedding was interesting. I found the video really interesting. Maybe it was after that concert, but that happens with K-pop groups. But what I really fell in love with was the album. The whole album was just had me for a deep sorrow. Has to be one of my top favorite Shinhwa songs. And my favorite song off that album, off Wedding, was Lost in Love. Like, when I first heard it, I was like, whoa. I knew you guys had it, but look, I'm not even lying. I listened to that on repeat. I don't know how many times, and I fell asleep to it too. It's just like I love that song and I love that album.
The third album era was cool. They were giving me this anime hairstyle, crazy, animated, still young, still rebellious. I guess the year 2000 was my favorite. But if I'm gonna go with like a close run, the Perfect Man era was good too.
Favorite Shinhwa era would be Perfect Man era.
I really liked when Jungin had braids. I don't know if it was my favorite, but I thought it was really unique, and I really liked when he had braids. Don't like when he goes blonde. I don't think it's for color though. I think just cut that down. Like all the crazy anime hairstyles were fun, but I think in the most recent video, well not most recent video, but in Venus, when everybody kind of had bangs to the side and like, but the layered cut at the back, I think that's one of my favorite styles right now. I love spiky hair, but not too colored, not too frosted out. Kind of like more of a natural look, obviously. So I think I like them when they have their hair cut naturally.
Minu's hair in Wild Eyes was just gorgeous. Eric's hair in Wild Eyes was gorgeous too. I'm gonna say Eric's hair in Wild Eyes is my favorite. Then I love Junjin's blonde, bleach blonde. I don't care. He's hot with blonde hair. Haters, whoever doesn't like him with blonde hair. I like Junjin's hair blonde. I like Minu's hair in Hey Come On. Andy's hair, I liked it in Perfect Man. Hesung's hair. Hesung's hair in the I Pray For You.
One of the more tame hairstyles I liked was Dongwon's in the Wedding March video and the Only One video, when he had like the little bob in his blue eyes. I still love that. He's so cute with it. And the wildest one I like was also in the Only One video, Minwoo's little Final Fantasy spikes. I'd never seen that before, and I was blown away. And I'm like, no one else can pull this off but him. Like, I actually want to see somebody else pull it off like that.
I like two kind of hairstyles. One is the longer hair, which they showed in the 8th album, The State of the Art. And I like the short hairstyle in the 10th album, The Return. I like both of them.
My favorite Shinhwa hairstyle, my ultimate favorite, there's so many favorites, but my ultimate favorite was Only One music video, epic anime Haesung hairstyle, when it was like here and up here. Like when I first saw it, I was like, yo, that hair is the best. And I just loved it. And I watched that video a lot of times because everyone's hair was I actually liked everyone's hair. But Haesung's hair, that was my favorite. That was my favorite.
I don't really have a favorite Shinhwa hairstyle, but I did prefer Shin Hae-sung Oppa with long hair in the with Chung So song.
I think it depends on different aspects of myself because we're all so multifaceted. I have something in common with just about all of them. I know Haesung is considered the lead singer, and I'm not saying I'm the greatest singer in the world, but I'm very dramatic when I sing, and like the ballads, and that's kind of what I'm really good at. Even though I love poppy and I love energetic things, I'm really good at the being really dramatic and the loud, holding notes really dramatically and just like really getting into and really feeling it. Junjin and Eric being so silly and making jokes all the time comes with another part of personality, because I definitely am always cracking jokes with my friends or making fun of somebody, or not in a mean way, in a way that we're all laughing, obviously.
I think Tongan Oppa and I matched more among the other Shinhwa members because we all like traveling alone independently, and we all like taking pictures, and like we all like cooking. taking care of the other members in the group. And I believe that Tong Alba must be the best husband or father all over the world. I like him very much.
Is Eric, because Eric's very quiet and reserved when it comes to being on set of movies, or he's really focused in his music videos, and he's such a great actor. But when he's with everyone else and just behind the scenes, he's a goofball. He really is, and that's how I am. I'm reserved, but I'm very much a goof.
Honestly, a lot of people would answer that question and they would try to match themselves up with their bodies, but I'm not going to do that. Honestly speaking, I think I'm more like Eric in terms of the fact that as a leader, you have to think about how responsible you and everyone else has to be. So when you see a lack in someone's effort, or if you see someone maybe not feeling like they're giving the best of their effort, you help pull them through. And I feel like I've been able to play that part with my friends or family, and I feel like to do that, you have to be a particular type of person. And that's also why I respect Eric, because he's sort of like myself in that respect.
Someone that matched my personality more would be Shinhwa Changjo, partly because he's extremely shy and I'm shy, and also of all the members, he's the least likely member to show skin. He doesn't really like showing it, and I'm like that. So
Ninu and Eric, it's because of like I've seen a clip of them in the studio working on the 9th album, and they were just making beats, they were collaborating, they were just coming up with something. They would not sleep until they got that beat, that interlude, that track done. They wasn't sleeping. It was like 5 a.m. They showed the clock. I was like, this is totally me when I'm working on something. Like, I feel like I can gel with Eric and Ninu in the studio working on something. Like, I'm an animator, but I can relate to these musicians. Like, Ninu and Eric are like, they're just, and they would not give up. And that's the kind of, I think I would mesh with them. That kind of passion, so passionate. I just love it. I love it. I know that's me, and I know I can click with them.
Come to America. Come see me. Come to Philadelphia. I will pay a lot of money to see you. Come here. That's what Shinhwa needs to do more. I live vicariously through the TV and, through the internet and all of these things, but I never got to see you guys. So I want Shinhwa to come to America.
I think Shinhwa need to do more to take care of their health, which will keep them longer on the stage.
They need to do a world tour. I would be so happy. They would honestly, I think they'd be really surprised to see how many fans, how many Changos there are in the US, in Peru, London, just everywhere. And I'm even on a group on Facebook who we just sit there and talk about it, and that was big. That's big for me, because when I was 12 years old, I didn't have that. I was that kid in the library jamming out the Shinhwa, and everyone else calling me weird. And now I can talk about it. There's forums, there's YouTube, and it's a community, and we're very much of a family as they are. I like to think that we reflect our group. There's not really any animosity. There's no Saesang fans that I know of when it comes to Shinhwa, but I could be wrong, but that's just what I think.
I think I want more of that deep sorrow feel type of music. Lost in Love, that R&B, but deep R&B, one of those, and then everyone's just slowly just giving all they got, and it's just really raw emotionally. So I like that type of music. Initially, that's where I come from, R&B, deep R&B. Earlier in the 90s, 80s, when people actually put soul into their music, I felt that Shinhwa doing Deep Sorrow, Lost in Love, songs like that. And I feel like I want to hear that more.
They need to freaking come over to the United States and do a concert. You better do a show in New York or something. Go to South America too, because you're Spanish fans. Come to the Americas. North America, South America. I need to see you do a concert here because I've been a fan for 9 years. Can I see you live?
Touring, please come to Canada.
Adorable.
Youngest.
Panacea.
Strong.
Cute.
Sweet.
Romantic.
Vocal.
Radiant.
Pretty.
Dramatic.
Beautiful. Funny.
Energetic.
Sexist.
Smexy. Sexy.
Cocky.
Sexy.
Cool.
Skilled dancer.
Invincible.
The goofball.
Funny.
Adorkable.
Dominant.
Caring.
A writer.
Strong.
Sweetheart.
Awkward.
Oldest.
Leader.
The child.
Handsome.
Charismatic.
Swag.
Is their longevity. Their longevity and their brotherhood. They're just so, you can tell they have that kind of friendship on stage and off stage, on videos and everything. You could tell that there's, of course everyone has their little discrepancies and their arguments, but you can tell they get through it mature. And I've seen rumors that they don't talk, or some of them don't like the other people, and they've dispelled it. They really have.
I think the brotherhood, the friendship among the Shinhwa members capture me the most.
Honestly, it's that individual makeup. Every member is their individual person, and they come together and they work out so well. It's like being in a long-term relationship with a person. You know things that you let out to be bad or good. You know what you can communicate with, what you can work with. You know how you respect that person. You know how some things are lacking, and you're honest. It's an honest feeling that I get from Shinhwa, and their cooperation with each other, and how they present themselves to their fans, that they're very open and honest people.
It's their longevity. They're the longest running K-pop group in Korea, and their friendship captivates me because they remind me of they're for real. They're not fake. They're awesome. I mean, they love each other. You don't see that many Korean idol groups that actually care about each other. You can see in other idol groups, oh, we just want the paycheck. We just want the paycheck. They're not best friends. Shinhwa, and they work their butts off to get to where they are.
The obvious brotherhood that Shinhwa holds for each other. And they've been together for so long, and they didn't need to be. There are plenty of people who have come out and broken up since they've been together. They were put together, but they decided to stay together. And in the behind the scene clips, you can see how close they are and how much they really care for each other as they joke around or hug, or or even when they're dancing or somebody messes up, or they'll oh, did you see when so and so did this? But it's always out of love. And the fact that they stand by each other. And I don't know how much I'm supposed to know about this, but when they were changing labels, and I know that Eric had to stand up a lot for his brothers to keep them together, and the fact that it means so much to him, that means a lot to me too.
They're real. They don't try to put on any airs. They don't try to act when they're on stage. They're just themselves. And I think that's what a lot of Shinhwa Changjos love about them. I think they lasted so long partly because of Eric Oppa. He kept the members together. He was the driving force on what kept them going and what kept them to be together, as well as their brotherly bond. They have this bond between them that can't break. Even when Andy left for that short time, they still included him. They still made him feel like he was a part of the group. So it's that love for each other they have that has let them keep going for so long.
I believe Shinhwa team members can last for 15 years because of their taking care of each other and also the heart of forgiveness. They try to understand each other and they just want to keep the team together. Not only after they leave SM company, and also they become together again. After 4 years, they go to military. I think everybody has a relationship and they cannot forget each other. And finally, they find a way that they need to go together. And this is the motivation that they become the group for 15 years.
They chose to stay together. They genuinely have a passion and a love for the music industry, for what they do. They're all different types of artists. They all have gone out and done their own thing. They all have gone out, well, I think they all have had their own separate projects where they either made groups or had their own albums or done movies or done dramas. But they come together because they don't just love each other, but they are a family. And that's why they lasted so long. You can't let egos get in the way. You know, they check each other, I'm sure, when they start getting out of line. And they truly love being together. You can't fake that. You can't. So other than the love for each other, the fact that they are so hardworking. As the industry changed, so did they. But they still were true to themselves. There's nothing fake about them. They give each other a chance on every album. I love that you hear everybody. Everyone's either rapping or singing. I know I've liked some groups where there's always obviously a main lead singer and everyone else is just kind of background. But everyone has like a verse or a line, or they interchange different things. Or even when Andy went away for a while, he came back, no one was, like, they just welcomed him back with open arms because that was their brother. So the brotherhood that they hold definitely kept them together.
Because no other group I know has had that closeness. Not in a K-pop band, not in a J-pop band, not in a, not an American band even. No one has had that closeness that I've seen, and that's what I really admire about them. I really do.
It's like what I was saying about relationships. Like, for you to work with people for a long time, along the way there are difficulties, and for the most part, to sort things out with people, you have to argue with them, you have to let things out, you have to be honest, and then you have to figure out as a group what you're going to do to improve those things. You have to help each other, you have to have each other's back. And Eric, as a leader, he's also been great individually with grouping together everyone. They respect each other enough to be honest with each other, and then it comes out in their work, and it comes out through the fans, and that's what really touches us. And know how to communicate. They know what's important. They do their best, and they know at the end of the day, they presented themselves individually as artists, as people, and as brothers. They're really to be admired for that.
Again, best friends. They love each other. They actually care about each other. They care about each other's well-being. They care about what the other opinion is. They argue too, because you gotta talk it out. You gotta talk. If you have an issue, you don't want to bottle it up, right? So they do. They even express that in a lot of interviews. Like, they communicate, and that is why Shinhwa lasted so long. Communication, and a lot of these newbie little idol groups, or the groups that broke up in the past, you need to take some notes from how Shinhwa lasted so long. That's why they're freaking awesome, and I love them.
I don't care when will your next album will be released, and I don't care when is your next concert, and I don't care Shinhwa Broadcasting will pause for 1 month or even 3 months. I just want all of you to keep healthy and happy, have more personal life, and get married. And don't push yourself so hard. Just no hurry, take your time.
Shinhwa, again, my name's KEYA, and I've been listening to you guys' music for a long time. And honestly, you guys aren't liking many things. Just keep doing what you're doing, and keep showing us that honesty that we've always seen of you guys, and just keep it going. Even if you ever decide to hang it up and been a long time, we still will be there for you. Shinhwa Changjo will always be there to support you and just keep doing what you're doing. And we love you guys. 사랑해요.
I love you, Shinhwa. I've been a fan for 9 years, and I really would love to see you perform live one day. I mean, I was a broke college student, and I could never get to Korea to see you live. And I hope one day, before I just keel over, I need to see you guys live. And I just want to shake you guys' hands. I just want to say to you in person, like, thank you so much for bringing joy to me. I smile every time a song comes on. I'm just super happy. There's emotions, or I'm sad. There's songs I can relate to. There's songs I can get hyped to. And you guys do a great job with your music and creating music.
안녕하세요. I'm a longtime fan, and I will always be a fan of you guys. You guys are just keep going strong after so long, and I just want to let you know that I admire you guys so much, and I hope to one day be able to see you guys in person, just to have one concert. I think it would make my life. Yeah, 사랑해요.
Hey Shinhwa. Well, how do you say hello?
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. I just wanted you to know that you have fans in America who love you, who want to see you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being brothers. Keep up the hard work. You're doing an amazing, phenomenal job. And I hope to see you at least by your 20th anniversary. Come on, see us in America.
Hi Shinhwa, I'm a huge fan. 사랑해요. Please come to North America and do tour. Bye.
그댈 찾지 않아요. 기다리지 마요. 그대 돌아와도 난 변하지 않죠.